All right, let's talk about entertainment. Mass media has been around for about 550 years, and this change in how society communicates has created a large audience who waits to be entertained with music, literature, art, performing arts, visual arts, and that list goes on and on and on. In the days of the internet now, we can interact, play games together, chat, collaborate. We can do a lot of things together from our homes. Generally, the rise of mass media has created a situation where the public creates less and less entertainment and consumes more. In the old days, if you wanted to be entertained, you created music or went to a play, but changes with the invention of the internet has resulted in more and more people creating entertainment again, but they're doing it in new ways and with new tools. So this passive consumer attitude towards entertainment led to the creation of genres, which helped people decipher which medium and topics they would use to be entertained. Genres are just subdivisions of major media categories like storytelling and music, such as comedy or classic, romantic, epic, romantic comedy, etc., etc., etc. And genres cover a broad range of related material by theme, and they've helped us make sense of the growing and ever-changing entertainment that's available. Mediated performances more and more have taken the place of authentic performances, which are in person, on stage, or live. The mediated performance is one that is modified to fit the media delivery system or technology, and so things get adjusted to suit recording capabilities or camera angles or page size. And in this way, the message of the piece gets adjusted to make it possible to transmit it to the masses, and it actually changes the message that we receive. Like books get changed to be translated to film, music has changed dramatically through time to suit the recording technology of the time, and sports has done everything from changing the rules and the time sections of the games in order to suit advertisers, as well as becoming a little bit more interactive. In our age of technology, audience members are even able to choose the camera angles, rewind, and look at sports through a different way with a lot more choices, as they're not so passive anymore. You can make choices now with our interactive media. Literature and media go together like peas in a pod. The ability to tell a story is part of the main power of the mass media. You can express any genre of literature through many different avenues, and the media defines trends based on audience approval, and many genres come and go, but are sustained by popularity, like the talk show, the cop drama, buddy movies, and reality TV. So this changing popularity of genres has been present since the creation of entertainment, and there are timeless things like Shakespeare or just pieces of media that really speak to the human condition. And while there's trends and fads of the time can come and go quickly and fall out of favor quickly, there's certain types of storylines and certain things that resonate with us as humans that really stay around for ages and ages. Music changes rapidly, and genres mix together and they expand into new forms through creativity and available technology. A good example is folk music is related to country music, which is related to rhythm and blues, which is related to rock and roll. So they formulate different expressions that are based on previous expressions. And music is one of those things that has a huge impact on people. Political campaigns use it to strike a chord with audiences' emotions. Commercials use it to help people identify with their products. It's a very effective medium for change. Music is intertwined with all types of media, film, radio, television. It's all around us all the time as part of the media content that we're just blasted with all of the time. Sports is a type of entertainment, and the audiences are huge. Sports Illustrated has a circulation of about 3.3 million a week, and this large audience for sports has really sparked a lot of interest from advertisers. They build fields and they put their names on them, they slap their logos on the field, they pay top dollar for commercial space. Anheuser-Busch spent $222.8 million on sports and advertising in 1 year, and NBC budgeted $1 billion for the Beijing Olympics. NASCAR brought in $6.9 billion in advertising revenue in 2004, and so there's this epic amount of money that's used to reach sports audiences. So is it really worth it? Is it worth all this money that they're spending? Are businesses really making enough off of these ad campaigns to justify that insane amount of money that they spend? And the answer with sports is no. It's recognized as what's called a loss leader. And a loss leader is a product that's sold at a loss to a company in order to attract customers. So the networks bid on sports events to keep viewers watching their stations, because sports events draw a lot of viewers to a certain channel. And the high cost of the events then leads to a really inflated advertising cost. So the advertisers pay the cost to reach that male sports demographic, which is kind of elusive. The loss of an important sporting event for a network can be completely devastating and push them out of place in the ratings. And ratings are what equal advertising revenue. So the price is paid, and most of the time, even at a loss, this price will be paid just so that they can stay competitive and stay on top and be number one. So it's pretty well accepted that advertisers will lose money on sports advertising, but the revenue is regained in the effects of hosting the event, because they draw in so many audience members that it's better for their channel to have the sporting event, even though they're losing money on advertising. Gaming is a growing form of mass media that used to be considered just entertainment that could be marketed to a mass audience, but not as a vehicle for mass communication. With the advent of online gaming, or MMORPGs, massively multiplayer online role-playing games, the winds have really shifted to make the gaming industry not just a marketed product, but also a media outlet in itself. They can advertise in games. And the impact of this transition has led to multimedia content creators to capitalize on the gaming industry, like getting their music into the games as a form of marketing, or creating movies based on the games. And huge media conglomerates are joining the business with gaming divisions, like Disney's Buena Vista, Sumner Redstone, MTV, CBS. All of these groups have began to throw their hats into the ring as game creators and distributors. Censorship in gaming has been a concern, with controversial content included in games like Grand Theft Auto and Doom, the shoot-'em-up games. So a loose rating system has been devised to protect children, but games are protected by the First Amendment like any other form of expression, and little has been done to successfully, really censor games or have censorship in gaming. And some of the controversy with this medium is because of the simulation and the interactive aspect on the audience. It's different to passively watch violence on television or in a movie as to act out violence and be in the thought process like you are in a game. So I have a link on here for a talk Jane McGonigal gave at TED, and I will show it to you in class. And she just has a really interesting point of view on the gaming industry. There's not that many positives attached to gaming, and this was just a really interesting point of view. So we'll look at that video in class. Sexual content as media is a very popular genre. The pornography industry is in demand, and it pulls in $8 to $10 million annually. And about 8,000 adult movie titles are released every year. And when this first became an issue in literature, the government would ban books. But banned books didn't stay that way for long, and when they were released, they would become top sellers, and this is still true today. This really marketable aspect of sexual literature worked as an incentive for publishing houses to take in books with adult content. So without an audience, genres do not succeed, and pornography has been around for a long time based on this demand. While the First Amendment does protect pornography and obscenity, there are standards that dictate whether the government can ban something or not. Decency requirements in the United States were decided by the Supreme Court in 1973 with the Miller Standard, which says, would a typical person see the material as appealing mainly for its sexually arousing effect? Is the material devoid of serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value? And is the sexual activity depicted offensively in a way that violates a state law that explicitly defines offensiveness? And only if the answer is yes to all three of the Miller standards can the government censor it. So this standard is what protects a lot of publications. And the main motivation for the courts to uphold any decency standards at all and rating systems is just to protect children from adult content and to protect children from becoming adult content, as in the case with child pornography. Artistic value is linked to the mass media in a strong way. Creative people are the main producers of content, and most media creators work under the assumption that art is intertwined with what they create, or that there is a creative process at hand in the flow of things. And the levels of artistic value are very, very, very broad. For someone trying to argue the artistic value of, let's say, the Jersey Shore versus a Scorsese film, there are categories which try to label what art is within the media, but who decides what is of value and what is not an expression of the human condition? On some level, the Jersey Shore is an expression of our humanity within modern society. High art is like a joke that everyone is in on except you. It's media that really requires a high degree of sophistication to appreciate. And then you have low art, which can be appreciated by almost anybody. It is ideas that are easily accessible. So let's look at this a little bit more. There are elitist versus populist types of art within the media, which is similar, to this high art, low art idea. Or sophisticated topics versus kitsch. And kitsch is a German word that means garish or trashy or trendy. And while it really sounds like a negative connotation, it's things that are popular among regular folks. They are in reach of the common man. And I don't think that because it's accessible to most, that the value of it is somehow diminished. And personally, I like kitsch. I like gnomes. High, middle, and low culture is in the same vein, but it refers to the audiences that identify with the different types of mass media. And these distinctions were identified by sociologist Herbert Gons in 1976. High culture are people that enjoy complexities and subtleties in art and entertainment. Middle culture is less abstract, like Norman Rockwell and primetime television. And then low culture would be kung fu movies, comic books, and tabloids. So each of these groups that enjoy these types of entertainment have different education levels, socioeconomic backgrounds, and work lives, and they relate to the different themes in different ways. And then you have highbrow, middlebrow, and lowbrow, which is basically the same thing as high, middle, and low culture. Pop art is the art of the moment, like body piercings or trendy clothes and things that are popular in the day. They fall under this category and are sometimes seen as kitsch, but are also enjoyed by the elitists. It's low art that is hugely popular for a short period of time. Popular art focuses on what will succeed in the marketplace right now, and then it provides what is wanted. It's faddish, and it's often seen as not having any artistic value or a very low artistic value, but in truth, it does comment on the state of society at the time of its popularity. Susan Sontag, an influential essayist, talked about this importance and this value of pop art. In 1965, she encouraged people not to look at art in the old, traditional, and stuffy ways of the past and see that inherent value of popular works. And her views helped transform the appeal of pop art and put this sophisticated spin on it, that it was something that was to be looked at as a mirror of society. Alright, so that's what I have for you about entertainment. I look forward to class. Thanks.